Selected in the second round of the 2018 NHL entry draft, he is the leader in franchise history for games played from a defenseman, goals from a defenseman, and big hits thrown resulting in woos from the crowd. Our guest today on the Canucks Insider podcast is Jett Woo, as Max Sasson said when he's on the show. What's it like when you throw a hit, and obviously I've seen you throw them with some confidence now, especially been around this league for a little bit, but to hear the reaction from the crowd after, how easy is it for you to notice the woos? Because I hear from the crowd, it's pretty cool.
It's rewarding. It's crazy. Even last game, we were saying before, that was probably the best crowd I've seen in a long time. And we have a lot of guys that are able to play physical for the games, but when I do it, it's a lot of fun hearing that from the crowd. Definitely.
Yeah. Do the guys give you crap for that? You're the only guy who kind of gets his own. You and Artie have your own champ.
No, they love it too. Like I said, it's a lot of fun playing here and playing in front of that crowd.
Yeah. And so you've been here in Abbotsford. You've seen this grow from day one, right? You've seen this to get to this point now. Calder Cup Finals. How do you look back at these last 4 years and just see kind of how the community has grown with you guys as a team?
It's I was after last game, it was emotional. It's crazy to think how far we've come. As a group this year, but individually over the last few years. I even think back to my first year in Utica with John and Breezer. It's been a long time playing with these guys, and to finally see our success and our growth individually, but as a team as well, and finally get to the spot where we always want to be. It's rewarding.
And it's cool because you're still a young guy, but you've probably done a lot of growing up just as a person. You've kind of gone through becoming a teenager and now 24 years old at this point. To get to this point and have that experience with these guys, especially you brought up Breezy, you brought up John, for them to kind of help guide you into this league a little bit. And now you're probably doing that a little bit to these young guys. It must be pretty cool transition to kind of just see yourself grow through these past 4 years, really.
Yeah, definitely. And I saw the podcast when Breezer was talking about it too, and how he was the young guy and he's the older guy now. And he's not old, but older. And I like to think of myself still as young, but at the same time, I find myself in those shoes that that John and Breezer were once to me, and still are. I'm still learning from those guys, and I think as a group, along with Chase and Phil and all the older guys, I think we've done a good job in trying to lead this team and grow off the ice as well, and it definitely shows on the ice.
I think in this league, even Manny talked about, or RJ talked about this, but the guys who have been around for the 10 years and done this and been pros for that long, they're so important to this group. What is it about those guys, especially whether it's practice or on the road, or I have to imagine when you're a 20-year-old kid coming in and you just played junior where everything's kind of in line for you, even college, everything's kind of set up for you. Here you're just I feel like you're just thrown to the wolves a little bit as a 20-year-old. So those guys must be massive in those.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you come in as a young guy, you don't really know what to expect. You're still learning everything. And I'm fortunate enough to be with this team for a good amount of time now, where I've been able to move up in not just the lineup or the play, but kind of as a leader, and being able to grow and help others grow, and kind of take in everything that's been brought to us since. And it just makes my appreciation for this whole process that much more.
Yeah. What does it mean to you to be part of the leadership group? When you kind of were given that opportunity at a pretty young age too, for you, what did it mean when that was kind of brought up? Was it RJ, or was it a coach that gave you that chance? How did it kind of come about?
Yeah.
What did it feel like?
I mean, it's an honor. I mean, I look at myself as a leader, and we have a group of 20 some odd guys that can all lead, and all the guys have been able to be called up at some point in the year to step up in those moments, and they all have. And I'm fortunate enough to be surrounded by other great leaders and help myself grow in that position as well. So I appreciate the chance to being able to be one of those guys that people look up to, and it's off the ice, it's on the ice, and I got to just make sure I kind of keep with it.
So I've watched you for 6 years now. I remember you're playing in junior, playing in your early days in Utica and everything. I feel like the way you're playing right now feels like I saw you at the end of your junior career. You've kind of grown into this. You look like you're playing that physical style that I loved watching you play in the WHL. Do you think your game has kind of grown to a point over the past few years here where you're feeling like you're at not necessarily your peak, but you're really continuing to add to your game?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I had a great year last year too, and this year. And when people ask me what kind of game I play, I always say I play a playoff hockey game. And I'm not always a flashy and whatever kind of player, but I'm gritty. I'll stick up for my teammates. I move pucks. I play simple, and I'm reliable. So for me, it's just kind of playing simple and sticking to the system so that everyone around me kind of understands what's going on in the game.
Yeah. Well, I've seen you be the skill guy when you're playing Manitoba. Like, I don't know how many goals you score against them. And I heard the guys said you guys did a trip to the family restaurant again.
We did,
this past
yeah.
year, so that's like a yearly thing now, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
Marigold Restaurant. It's our good luck. I don't think we've lost after attending that meal, so it's
Really?
kind of our thing right now. Yeah.
Okay, so the food's got to kind of get the guys
it's
going a little
amazing,
bit.
yeah.
And I heard you like sometimes have to be a waiter a little bit while you're in
Yeah,
there,
we'll
too.
see. Yeah, it's a little awkward how it's my family restaurant. I'm just sitting there, so I'll go back and help a little bit with the food. But my uncle and parents and my grandma, they all help out a lot, and I know the guys are really appreciative of it.
Yeah. So who's the worst tipper on the team then?
No, everyone's been great. I can't call everyone out.
The way you guys have played throughout these playoffs, and Artie's a big reason for this, and the defense core and you guys, defensively, it's been kind of the thing you fall back on. And we'll see a good game. We'll talk with Manny post-game, and the thing he'll keep bringing up is just like, you guys are sticking to your structure, and when things start getting a little crazy, you guys have something to fall back on. As kind of a leader on the defense core here, like, how easy is it for you guys to get back to your structure with how you guys have built it all year long? And it feels like that's something that everyone can kind of just settle into. Like, how has that worked so well for you guys?
I mean, you go back to last game, or I think we were down what, 2-0 going into the third, whatever it was, and we go into that intermission and there's no panic. We're confident. We've been there before. We're confident if the game were to go to overtime. We're confident, and it's a weird. I say weird, but it's a weird dynamic how we don't worry on our team. It's a cool feeling to be part of a team like that. With Manny and the coach have done a great job the whole year, kind of hammering in our structure and our systems into us, and making sure that we buy in. And once everyone buys in, it's 100% we're going to be okay.
Yeah, and I brought up like the defense core, but it's like, I watch when you guys are on your game, like, it's crazy how much you guys are blocking shots. Like, I don't know, I know it's kind of been all season long, but it feels like it's amped up in the playoffs. What's it like for a defense when you see some of these forwards just laying out, blocking shots, getting in lanes? Like, you must be kind of like, okay, thank you very much, buddy.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I always said, going into the season, we have a very skilled team, very fast team. And for those same skilled players and fast players to be laying out, blocking shots, lying down, doing all that stuff, it means a lot to us, and it also means a lot to the other team when they see that happen. It's crazy when you see a guy like Archdeep go crazy slide, make a block, and there's guys on the other team, same position, same skill, whatever, but they would never do that. And it's plays like that, guys like that it just adds to our depth a little bit.
Yeah, because it's even like if you look at it from the other side, like you brought up the other team. Like, I remember Vancouver against Nashville first round last year. I was like, man, they're blocking the lane so hard, and it's like ruining almost your whole style. Like, I guess from an offensive perspective, when you guys see that, like, that must be a massive change that kind of just boosts confidence when you're bringing the defenses onto the offenses.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing. Like, if I'm going down and I have the puck and I see one of their skill guys going and trying to block a shot, it's like, oh boy, like, maybe don't and whatever. So it adds to that little factor of what if for their team, maybe just shooting the puck down low or whatever. So, no, it means a lot for us, definitely.
Yeah. What about the penalty kill? What's been working so well for you guys? It feels like, some of these moments, and I remember seeing one kind of, I think it was game 2 of this series, and you guys had a huge penalty kill to finish. I think it was the second period. I probably have this all wrong, but I'm like, looking back at you guys have had some big penalty kills throughout this, and it's been so good. How does that kind of grow throughout the season to get to the point where it feels like everybody's just like, nobody's ever out of position throughout these playoffs for you guys' penalty kill?
Yeah, I mean, special teams is a big thing in the postseason. One bad penalty or one good power play can win the series, and we just finished a series against a really, really good power play, and they scored a few more than what we wanted, but for us, our PK gives us a lot of momentum. The guys on there give us a lot of momentum, and it's a lot of fun. The guys out there, we play it with pride. And we know that it gives our team a big boost when we do well.
Yeah, you brought up momentum, and it just kind of like triggered my mind thinking the way you guys played in that third period of game 6, like, it felt like it was like every time you sent another line over the boards, like, it was going. What's it like in those moments where, like, you guys must feel like we have momentum right here? Like, what's it like when you're in that and going through it?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy once it starts and one line gets the puck in, makes a big hit, crowd goes crazy, we recover the pucks. we get an ozone change, and another line goes out there, does the same thing. It continues to go over and over again. It's every player gets into it. We roll the lines, and it's a lot of fun to play against or to play with. And I've been on the other side where teams do that to us, and it sucks. And like I said before, Maddie's been able to instill this practice of ours to play the right structure, and you definitely see it come out and work in those times like that.
Mm-hmm. And kind of we touched on the defense. Playing in front of Artie when he's on his game, like, must be a pretty good spot to be when you're a defenseman and when he's making some of these nights that he's having.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost too good. It's we go into a game and you don't worry because Artie's back there and he's been rock solid for us, and we got his back, and it gets to the point where guys. We play against a team where they always try to stop up on front of the goalie, in front of Artie, and trying to get in his face. That really pisses us off. You know, and I know everyone on that decor, everyone on the team would do anything for Artie, and he's playing great for us. And hopefully we just kind of keep playing for him hard.
Yeah, and I think it's been interesting to watch him get involved a little bit in the crease. But I know that's something you love to do. Like, you love to back up your goalie when back there.
Yeah, I mean, when he does it, we're like, maybe just be careful. But he's a smart guy and he knows what he's doing, and we trust him whatever he does. Yeah.
So joining you on the pod today is John Stevens, and you brought him up a couple times already. But I just wanted to ask, like, with him not playing, currently being injured, but we'll see what happens here. But just him being around the group, what has it meant for these guys, and what does he kind of bring as a leadership guy? Because I've talked to him in the past, and it feels like he's a guy that I remember hearing some players in past years talk about learning about just how to be pros from him. So for him to be around the group and continue to be a leader, what's it meant to this team to have John around this group?
Yeah, he's a big influence on our team, whether he's playing or not. Like I said before, I think it was just me, Breezer, and him and Johnny back in Utica. And so he's, for me personally, he's been in my life for such a long time and a leader in my eyes for such a long time. And for these other guys, especially the young guys, getting to learn things from him too, it means a lot. And even when he's not playing, he's around the guys at practice or playing cards or going out for dinners, whatever it is, just making his presence be there, and that's enough for the team, And we're all appreciative of him sticking around and battling through what he's going through, and we know he's working hard, and hopefully he's able to get to a point where it's close to playing time.
Yeah, most definitely. I think something I've talked to you over the years is you've always talked about adding to your game. So I'm curious this year, what do you think you've added the most to your game, and what are you feeling most confident about just in terms of kind of growing and being around the league for a while, understanding what you have to do to be successful in this league? What do you think you've done this year the most that you've really added?
I think this year I probably brought in a little bit more consistency. I think last year, I was, playing power play. I was playing penalty kill all the time. I was playing whatever. And this year coming in, not playing power play, penalty killing a little bit at the beginning, but now more, we have more of a solid decor. And I think for me, it was good to not go all the, highs and lows, and just kind of stay where I was, and to focus on my game, and to just play simple, if that makes sense. And I think that's what will get me to that next level, just playing simple, being reliable. I can think of a couple words that I think every guy on the team would think when they think of me on the ice, and I think that's a good thing. So I think just consistency and again, just being hard to play against.
Yeah. I have to I'm curious how the start of the year went for you guys with a full new coaching staff coming in. How different were practices from the past? And what was something this year that the coaching staff really instilled at the start with you guys? Because get to the Calder Cup Finals, everybody's been doing a good job buying in here. And the thing that I keep hearing from you guys is making it fun to come to the rink. The most fun you guys seem to all have is when you're here at the rink. And I can imagine you're one of those guys as well. But with the new coaching staff coming in and Jordan Smith working with the defensemen, what's it been like just kind of getting to know that staff, and what have you liked so much about them?
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to play with a lot of great coaches, play for them, and to learn a lot of great things. I think with Manny and Harry and Smitty, I think with them, I think it was more of intensity in practice. I think from the get-go, and I know every team says it, that their goal is to come and play in the Calder Cup. I think looking back at it, our practices were really we had focus on the Calder Cup. That was our goal. That's what they kind of talked to us about. And then also bringing that up, I think we focused a lot about the process. Manny always talks about the process and how we get there. It's not about the wins and losses, and I think that really helped us too, because there'd be games where we'd win, and most times it's yeah, we got the win, but a lot of the times it's um, we go to the practice the next day or whatever, and we show the negative clips because it wasn't really us. It wasn't great. So I think just instilling the process and, like I said before, the structure and how we're supposed to play and what works for us is what we kind of just what they demanded out of us every practice, every game. I think that's really helped us go this far.
Yeah, what did that kind of? I find that interesting. You brought up like with the goal of always getting the Calder Cup. Sure, you mentioned like that's everybody's goal, but for you to kind of understand what you did this year to make that happen, like what did you learn most about just being a pro and like having that kind of that goal in mind that everybody's working together for? Like, I find that interesting because every team's going to be like, I want to get to the Calder Cup.
Yeah.
You guys have really had to step up, like whatever it is at practice. Like I've seen you guys practice. It's one of the harder practicing teams I've ever seen. Like I feel like you guys have. What have you kind of learned about how hard it is to get to this point in the AHL playoffs?
I think that's a hard question. I think a lot of the times it's like I look back to earlier on in the year, the first half of the year. We talked about it today, actually, that after every practice we go and do down and backs, right? We do 4 or 5, whatever they are, and now I've never really been on a team that does it every practice, and so sometimes you do it on your own, some whatever, but we did it every practice, and with the goal in mind that we need to be conditioned to whatever go this far. But I think at the same time we had a lot of days where we had days off or optionals and to take care of our body. And I think Manny and the staff are very professional and smart with how they planned all of that, because to go this far, you're going to have guys banged up. Everyone's banged up, and at the end of the day, it's the guys that are the least banged up, the guys that have the most energy that are going to succeed. And so I think that was the line that we kind of learned, and they showed us is, kind of bagging yourself and making it hard on yourself, but also taking some days off and recovering from it a little bit.
I think the other thing that's interesting, and you guys have had a lot of success with this throughout the playoffs, and I'll see fans sometimes online being like, why is this guy on the fourth line? Why is this guy on the third pairing? Like, it feels like you guys are pretty confident in the depth. It doesn't feel like there is a 1-2-3-4 or 1-2-3 on defense.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the playoffs, I think what we demand from everyone on the team, it goes up and down the lineup. It's you play hard, you play fast, you play physical. I think whether you're on the first line or the fourth line, first D pair, third D pair, it stays the same no matter what. Doesn't matter if you're quote unquote a skill guy or a tough guy, whatever it is. Like, you are playing Abbotsford Canuck hockey, and if you don't, then it's not going to work out too great. So it's that's kind of what we demand, especially from a leadership group. We talk about it, and I think that really has shown going into this postseason right now.
Yeah, and the team you're matching up against, they're on an 8-game win streak. They've outscored their opponents by more than a 2-1 throughout their playoffs. And you guys haven't played them. We were touching on this before we started recording here. Yeah. How do you kind of prepare for what you're about to go into here? And is it about them, or is it about you guys kind of heading into this final?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of both. I think you go over a little bit of video and see that what their style of hockey is. But at the same time, we're here for a reason, and we're confident, and we've got here doing what we do. And so I think for us as well, looking at them, it's focusing on us, making sure we don't shy away from our own game and sticking to what's been working for us.
And I found it interesting. Like, I'm curious if this is a positive or a negative. You guys have played 6 more games with them up to this point, and 6 more games of playoff hockey. You probably learn a lot. You mentioned some bumps and bruises along the way. 6 more games. How do you look at it?
Well, I'm very optimistic, and I think others would say so too. I think us, I want to look at it in the right way. We played, what was it, 2 days ago, I guess, and we play in a couple more days. These guys have been off for a few, is it 11 days? It'll be 11 days or so when we play them, and that's just how I got to look at it. It's not about the bumps and bruises, because I know they got theirs as well. So now we're game ready, and that's all that matters. And we can't really focus on them too much and just try to focus on us.
Yeah. And the way the series goes, I find it interesting because you guys have been so good on home ice. You're going to play 2 there, then 3 here. Like, that could be a massive swing in a series, getting those 3 at home. What's it been like for you guys throughout these playoffs? Like, you've seen this 4 years, and we talked to, I think, just walking in here, we were saying, like, Sunday, Game 6, that might have been the coolest hockey atmosphere you've been in. What do the fans mean to you guys, and like how much of a boost are you guys getting during the game, after the game, just everything? Like, what are you taking from the fans right now?
It's crazy. It's emotional. I get emotional thinking about it. It's the boost we get from the city, from the fans during our games. It's phenomenal. And I played against guys on other teams that you see them after the game or whatever, and they talk about the fans. They talk about how crazy this atmosphere is, how big of a boost it is for us, and how bad it is for them. And seeing those towels go crazy, it's that atmosphere it's you dream of stuff like that. It's impressive. It's really fun to be a part of, and it's a big reason why we love playing here and why we're winning here.
Yeah, what's it like taking the ice? Because man, I'm up I'm in the press box and the hair's standing up on.
Yeah, I got my hair there standing up right now. Think about it.
Yeah.
I go on the ice, and one thing I've told my fiance, my family too, and this year especially, every time I go on the ice and you do your laps around before O Canada, and when I go down the center of the ice, I try to just look at the fans and look at everything and just take it all in, and it's breathtaking. It's crazy. It makes you want to play that much more harder. And I've been on the other side where it's a little bit nerve-wracking for other teams to be a part of, and for me, I'm very proud of the city. Very proud to say I played here, and every game day here is super, super exciting.
Yeah. So as we head into the finals here, what can you guarantee you're bringing as a player in these finals?
I'm guarantee I'm going to bring my physicality. I'm going to stick up for my teammates. I'm going to play smart hockey and simple, and I'm going to be a leader for the guys and try to just instill the Abbotsford Canuck hockey into everyone here.
Love it. How excited are you to get going here for this, man?
Super excited. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, appreciate you jumping on the pod here. Get set for the Calder Cup Finals, games 3, 4, and 5 back here at the Abbotsford Centre. We can't wait to see this place. But good luck in the first 2 games over the weekend here, and we're excited to see you guys come back to Abbey.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
He has been with the Canucks organization for the past 6 seasons, is part of the leadership group with Abbotsford, is 5th in franchise history for goals, 6th in points, and 4th in games played. John Stevens is our guest today on the Canucks Insider podcast. How cool is this, John? Calder Cup Finals. How's this going for you, man?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I mean, we know how special it is playing this rink, and our fans been behind us since we moved out here from Utica. So just to see the buzz in that building when the boys took home the Western Conference was really special.
Yeah, and I know for you, currently out of the lineup, but to get out there on the ice and accept the trophy, what did it mean to you? Because I know, I've heard from the other guys what you mean to them, but for you to be able to go out there and accept that trophy, what was that moment like?
Yeah, it meant the world. It was pretty surreal just to come on the ice and kind of realize what the team had accomplished this year, and just to be able to be around the group and try and be a positive vibe. And obviously played with a lot of guys here for a long time. I mean, Breezer played together for 6 years, and Nealer, Chase, Woozy, Wooly, a lot of guys that have been here for a long time. So Deej, and it was a really special moment to be out there with the guys and to be able to accept the trophy.
When you guys first moved from Utica to Abbotsford, what was your first initial thoughts of it? Because I remember covering the AHL team from across the whole continent here. I'm watching you guys in Utica, different time games, but then I'm like, you guys are coming back here to Abbey to be close to Vancouver, close to the front office, everything. What did it mean in that first year? Can you remember what it was like when you kind of heard the team was moving to Abbey?
Yeah, I'm from the East Coast in the U.S., so I didn't know a ton about Abbotsford. But I mean, you can just see being in Utica, just so far from Vancouver, it's hard to get guys up and down, and you're just not around the organization as much. So right from day one, I think the rink was packed for our home opener. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, and it just seems like it's gotten more and more steam every year. So I mean, it couldn't have been a better home for us to move back to BC and play in Abbotsford.
Yeah, what was it like, kind of, because you're from the East Coast, so you're from South Jersey. It's got to be kind of interesting moving to the West Coast, taking on that lifestyle. What have you thought last few years?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long way from home, just kind of shipping my car out here and getting settled. But it's really become a home away from home. Me and my fiance stayed here last summer and kind of got the full BC experience, being here kind of out of the rainy season and being able to enjoy it a little bit. So I loved it out here on the West Coast. And my fiance's family is all from Seattle, so we got lots of family around, and we love it here.
Right on. So I saw the proposal. I got to ask about your dog Stella, because I think she stole the show in that photo shoot there. Tell me about Stella a little bit here.
Yeah, we actually got her last season. She's a BC dog. She's from on the island in Nanaimo, so we went and picked her up, and we love her to death. She's kind of changed my routine coming home from the rink and just walking her and just something to come home to. She's always in a good mood, so she's been awesome.
Yeah, I always think it's like, man, I saw the pictures of her as a puppy, and I'm just thinking, like, it must be so weird when they're that small and now like growing so much. But when they're puppies and they're that small, it's a little scary almost.
Yeah,
like,
it is. They're tiny, and it's kind of funny. It's chain reaction. I feel like we got like 10 guys in the team with dogs now, and they all kind of hang out in a little crew, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's part of your leadership, man. And we've seen this over the years. I've heard from a lot of guys, and they've brought up your name in terms of like teaching them how to be pros. And I found that interesting over the years, especially the guys that came out of college. I feel like you've kind of helped them a lot. Guys have mentioned like diets, workouts, like they've brought up your name a lot. What has it been like to kind of be somebody who can help so many of these 20-year-olds? Because you were at a time one of these 20-year-olds coming out of college, and you went to Northeastern, won a Hockey East championship. When you came out, there were some guys helping you. And what's it like for you to now kind of give back to some of these young guys?
Yeah, I think you think back to when you turn pro, and hey, there's a lot of new things. It's a new routine, and think back to the guys that really helped me when I came into the league. So I try to do the same thing. And I think just to play every year, you got to have your routine and kind of eat well and take care of your body, and just doing the little things every day, kind of trying to give yourself a routine that works for you. And guys can kind of, I think we all do a good job feeding off each other and seeing what certain guys do and how that helps them. So it's been great.
Who was that guy to you? Who were some guys that helped you when you were coming into pro?
Well, one of the guys I actually lived with who played was the former Vancouver Canuck was Calder. He was in Bridgeport. We were roommates, and I mean, he was only a year older than me, but he really kind of helped me get acclimated to the league, and BC boy as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So to kind of see what's happened here throughout these playoffs, you've had a different view of it, not playing so far throughout these playoffs, but what have you thought from the group? Like, what do you think they've done so well to get them to this point? What are you kind of viewing right now? We'll put the coach's hat on you for a little bit here, but like, what do you think they're doing so well throughout these playoffs right now?
I think it's just a hunger to win and a kind of a full team buy-in. Guys kind of have been competitive through that whole win streak towards the end of the year and just wanted perfection, wanted to be better, and really want to win. So I think that collective belief and the team coming together is really what's made us so dangerous down the stretch.
Yeah. How are you kind of supporting the guys right now? Like, obviously being part of the leadership group is huge, but what are some ways right now that you're kind of supporting the guys?
Just trying to be a positive vibe around the rink. You know, the playoffs can be stressful, and you kind of ride the highs and lows of the season. So you can kind of try to be a consistent, positive vibe and chat with guys about how the game went and stuff like that. So just to try to be around and be a smile in the room is kind of the big thing I've been trying to do.
Yeah, because I heard that it was like the players wanted you traveling with them, like to be kind of there supporting them. So for you to kind of hear that from your teammates, what does that mean to you?
It was awesome.
They all wanted you.
Yeah, I mean, Chase asked me he went in and asked me if I could travel with the team, which was great. So I mean, it's been really nice to be on the road and be with the guys and kind of just be there for the whole experience and kind of be along for the ride.
What's it like having Chase as a captain? Like, I always joke that like he was born and like maybe he has like a C birthmark there or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but this guy just like, he eats and breathes like a captain. What's it like seeing a young guy like that have so much, like he's just got such that captain vibe to him. Like, I find it so interesting about him just as a person and as a player, the way he plays out there.
Yeah, he just carries a presence where you kind of have a lot of respect for him, and he respectfully kind of commands your respect in a way. Even when he was a young kid, you look to follow him, just the way he plays, the way he takes care of himself, the way he cares about his teammates, and goes around to make sure everyone's doing well. And he's a really good leader, and he really cares about the guys.
Yeah. So I've been sitting in the press box watching these intros, way they're taking the ice, like when a big goal is scored, and like the hair's standing up on my arms. What's it like for you? Because you're in a different position here watching these games.
Yeah, I think when you play the game, you can kind of settle right in. The nerves relax. When you watch the game, you're stressed the whole 3 periods. So, but yeah, it's been a really fun run, especially the games at home. It's been a ton of fun to be in the stands and watch them.
Yeah, are these some of the craziest atmospheres you've ever seen for hockey games? Like, you had some crazy stuff in the Hockey East, man. I know what it's like in that division over the NCAA, but like it's been pretty wild out here at the Abbotsford Centre.
Yeah, big time. Even I think the first experience we got a couple years ago when we finally hosted a home round was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Guys just wanted to get back there. So, I mean, just telling the new guys, like, we get to the playoffs, it's pretty special here. It's a good place to play. And even talking to my buddies on the road teams that come in, it's like they're impressed with how intimidating it is coming in here. So it's a credit to the fans in the city for how much they're behind us.
And I think something that the guys have brought up kind of throughout the year, and I've heard this from Manny a ton, I've heard this from players in post games, a couple of them even said it on the podcast, but the thing that you guys have really focused on this year, and not even focused, I think you guys just allowed it to happen, but you guys just love coming to the rink every day. And I think that's the thing that I've heard from Manny is you guys love to work. Like, this is the type of thing that's grown this year. Has it been different over the years? Is it's kind of just built throughout the past 4 years here that you guys just love coming here and love putting in the work and understanding the work that it takes to get you to the Calder Cup?
Yeah, I think it's kind of been part of our culture, even back in since we moved here, and guys just love being around each other, love being at the rink, and especially this year, we've had such a strong team and a strong bond where guys love putting the work in here. And I mean, our division too, we're always on the road. We go 2 weeks on the road, 2 weeks at home, so you get a lot of time to spend at the card table and out to dinner and hanging out with the guys. So just creates a really strong, especially this year, really strong team bond, and guys love being around each other.
Yeah. Who's the big winner on the card table this year?
Deej and Chase have had a good year. So
okay, how about yourself?
Big card checks. I'm all right, hit or miss.
Okay,
yeah,
have some good, have some bad. Wanted to ask about Artur Shelovs, who's just been incredible throughout these playoffs. 5 shutouts up to this point. The AHL record is 6. He could be pushing up on it here in the finals. You've been able to watch him kind of grow as from a teenager when he first got here to see him get to this point. I always think it's crazy how these big moments just don't shake this guy, especially as a goaltender. Like, I think when you're playing and you're kind of in the game and you're doing your shifts, you're throwing hits, like you can kind of let some out and get a little bit of the nerves out of you. As a goaltender, what do you think about how he's just been able to take on this challenge of really being a guy who's relied upon big time for this?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him on here. I think he loves the moment. He likes the big moments. He likes the pressure. So he couldn't work any harder. Every year he comes in, he's the hardest working guy, and he just seemed to get better and better every year. So I just think the fact that he likes the moments and he looks forward to them is why he can be so confident and calm when the game's on the line.
Yeah, so you've been with the Canucks organization, I think 5.5 seasons when you got moved from Bridgeport to Utica, I guess, at the time. When you look back at your almost 6 years now with the organization, what are some things that stick out just about being a Canuck and being in this organization?
I mean, it's been a fantastic organization. They're really first class, and just the people that they bring in here. It seems like just from top to bottom, players, staff, coaches, everyone is just a really, really quality person. And I think that's why we've been able to have success. Because you just have a good group of people, it's kind of easy to build off that.
Yeah, with the penalty kill having so much success throughout these playoffs, you were a big part of that when you are in the lineup. What do you think the group's done so well about kind of just building that throughout the year and now getting to a point where, like, you guys had some good stretches during the regular season, but this team throughout the playoffs, this is like the best I've seen this penalty kill look.
Yeah,
probably ever, honestly. Like, what do you think they're doing so well? And like I said, you're a big part of that when you are in the lineup.
Yeah, I think just to buy into what we've been trying to do. The guys that they enjoy killing penalties and they're up for the challenge to kind of shut a power play down. And then on top of that, Artie's been playing great. So when you trust your goalie, it's easy to be aggressive and on top of yourself, on top of your reads. And they've done a fantastic job. So
you've seen the atmosphere like around the league, and you've seen some other playoff games. Like, how different is it here at the Abbotsford Centre when you guys are kind of getting ready for a game? Like, I feel like there's almost a little bit of intimidation probably coming from this home team here.
Yeah, Manny talked about it from the start of the year. We wanted to make this a hard place to play, and just in terms of us loving playing at home, our fans being behind us, and coming out to Abbey, and especially during the year, it's raining. It's not the easiest place to come out to. So, but yeah, we love playing at home and just love playing in front of these fans.
Yeah. What do you think about some guys who have kind of stepped more into a leadership role? I think like Max is a good example of that. Somebody who's up there, and Jett really. I mean, he's still so young, but he's kind of stepped up into that role. Chase is so young. This whole leadership group, like, I think looking at yourself, then the other 3 guys, like Phil's at least a veteran. He's been around for a while, but the 3 young guys there, and Chase and Max, and just watching them kind of grow as leaders. How have you kind of seen it happen with those guys? Like, have you seen them make like a real effort to be more leaders, or does it kind of just happen naturally?
Yeah, I think it happens naturally for a lot of guys. I mean, a lot of guys, just the way they play, they do the right things every game, and whether it be being more comfortable, being a little bit more vocal throughout the year or stuff like that, to being a little bit more stepping into roles they didn't usually used to do. But I think our group's pretty easygoing. Guys, like I said, really love each other, trust each other. So I think it's kind of made for an easy environment for these young guys to step up and feel comfortable leading.
What about the local guys getting a chance to see this? Like, there's a few of them here with, Arsh and Jujar and Tristan even being a BC guy. Like, is it a little different for them? Like, how do you see them kind of taking on this playoff run and seeing everything happen? Like, literally, like, their houses are 30 minutes away. Their parents are just down the road. I'm waving at their parents when they leave. Like, what's it like for them, do you think? Is it a little different?
Yeah, I think it's got to be awesome. Like, just playing at home and having lots of family and friends that want to come to the games and are excited. So, I think that they've all loved playing here.
That's awesome. And just to kind of wrap up here, I want to just hear about your relationship with Ryan Johnson, who, like, man, I've heard some of I think the quote that he brought up when you were signed in the summer of 2023 is that you personify what they're looking for as an organization. I thought, like, that's pretty powerful words. So I'm curious to hear from your point of view, your relationship with RJ, who's obviously been with you kind of, I guess he was the reason you kind of were brought into Utica in the first place. What's he meant to your hockey career, just having RJ as a GM for these years?
Yeah, he's been incredible for me. I mean, he's the one who brought me out of Bridgeport and into Utica, and kind of really believed in me as a player. Allowed me to kind of become the player that I've become here. So I owe a ton to him for just bringing me in and just he's just such a good guy, so easy to talk to, kind of talks to you on a personal level, and he's always there for you if you need anything at all. So I owe him a ton of credit for just bringing me over here and just believing in me as a player.
What's he been like during the playoff run here? I'm curious because I haven't had him on since you guys have been rolling through the playoffs here.
No, he's been awesome. I mean, he was the first guy in the tunnel when we were coming off the ice, giving guys hugs, and he's kind of built this over the past couple of years. So he was more fired up than anybody.
That's awesome. Well, John, we're excited to see the finals here. It's going to be a big time. It's a big for the organization. Fan base is really getting behind it. It's been a lot of fun to see. So we're excited to see the wrap up here. And just best of luck to you and the guys throughout the finals here. And good luck against Charlotte.
For sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, John.
All right. Thanks a lot.